Probably horrible, I'd imagine horrible. And it's not like here where a man and a man can hold hands or kiss, or there's not as much freedom as there is out here. It's celebration, I guess. You have to be more hidden and undercover.
Well, I'd imagine that you aren't really able to be particularly open.
From what I hear, it's fun in Tel Aviv. It's very open over there, and like there's a community for LGBT.
I feel like culturally it's probably not chill.
I think it's probably not great.
Probably kind of underground.
We are the oldest and biggest NGO for LGBT in Israel. We were established in 1975. These days we are focusing in three main areas. We're doing advocacy, health and well-being, and pride.
Israel is 65 years old and we made a lot of progress and everything develops. We're starting to open pubs everywhere across Israel for the LGBT community. Who would have thought you'll have 2 gay bars in Jerusalem?
Almost in every place in Israel you can be openly gay. We are doing all our obligations as citizens. So our visibility has changed dramatically, and we've become from being outside of the Israeli society into the mainstream of the Israeli population. But it's like anywhere else in the world, as long as you go out from the main city and you go in the circles of it, the farthest you go from it, it's much harder to be gay.
I think we are still a long way to do it. Israel wants to show that it's one of the most progressive countries in the world. I can say that by law, yes, we have good laws, but practice it, you cannot practice law unless the society itself is enough educated or enough open.
There is an air steward in Israel by the name of Jonathan Danilovich who took El Al, our national airline company, and took them to court because they weren't giving his boyfriend the same rights that they would give straight couples. So Danilovich took El Al to court and won the case. And ever since then, there has been an equality in various working places in Israel because there is a precedent legal case now that says anybody, no matter gay or straight, can get the rights that a straight couple will get.
You can see the change in the support for the LGBTQ community even in the Knesset.
Well, there are many more possibilities for gay people in Israel, legal possibilities, like you don't need to be closeted anymore.
In some of the legal ways, Israel has been ahead of much of the world. The fact that gay people have been serving openly in the army for the last 20 years means that a lot of the walls around homophobia have been broken down.
We are much advanced than most of the countries in the world. We have a law unallowing discrimination in workplaces from 2004. I was shocked to discover that most of the states in the state still discriminate on sexual orientation and gender identity. And I wish that all the countries in the area will become as liberal and free, because this is the right of every human being in the world.
San Francisco has been a thriving LGBT community for 40 or 50 years. I've been here since 1976, and San Francisco was already kind of like the gay mecca of the U.S. back then.
The Gay Pride in Tel Aviv, it's the biggest pride parade. It's funded mostly by the Tel Aviv City Hall.
We were part of telling this secret because we felt that people doesn't know what's going on here and how great it is to be in this cosmopolitan city. And this year we had more than 100,000 people marching in the streets. We finished our parade in a huge beach party. It's not only a festival, it's also a demonstration for our rights and equality. And it's the biggest event when the State of Israel is seeing the gay community. We had most of the parliament parties' chairs coming to speak to the LGBT community. And that's the first time, and that was a huge thing for the community.
The closest comparison to San Francisco is Tel Aviv, but it's a much newer phenomenon. And I guess the farther away you get from Tel Aviv, the more challenging it is to be LGBT in Israel. Much like here, I mean, there's a difference between being gay in San Francisco and gay in Omaha. And a lot of the periphery of Israel is more like Omaha than San Francisco.
It used to be only Tel Aviv. When gays used to grow up, they just moved from wherever to Tel Aviv because it's the only accepting city. And today, I find it beautiful that people are fighting for their own city. The Jerusalem Pride Parade is more of a protest than a party parade because Jerusalem is a more complex city.
What the Orthodox leaders in Israel would have said 10 years ago is that there's no such thing as homosexuality in our community. And they can't say that anymore. There is this growing LGBT movement within the Orthodox world of Israel. Orthodox gay men, Orthodox lesbians, support groups for young Orthodox Israelis. This is really groundbreaking history. So these are people who are saying we are religious and we are LGBT and we don't want to give up either one.
Pinkwashing is using the queer issue to justify other behaviors and issues. For instance, somebody might claim that Israel does awful things in the West Bank and Gaza, and at the same time tries to present itself as a totally liberal, open, and progressive place because it's positive towards gay people.
People mean by it that Israel uses the more developed gay community and the gay rights in Israel to make it look that Israel is more pro-minorities.
To give the credit to our Prime Minister and a foreign minister sitting in a room saying, oh, we have a great idea, let's go and get the gay community and send them to the world and they will show Israel. It's too much credit. To blame us for trying to help the state of Israel to avoid occupation or any other thing, I think that it's not realistic. It's propaganda.
If you come from a very liberal background, like here in San Francisco, you look at Israel and you might say that maybe there is still a long way to go in terms of the gay and lesbian community. If you come from a very conservative background, you might be looking at Israel and say, wow, these people are very, very advanced and very liberal and very open.
למרות כל הקשיים, את הטוב אני זוכר. אם אני בבלבלה, מיד אני אומר